Go to our breaking news story. The ANC in Mpumalanga now addressing the media after that urgent interdict to stop the conference there was dismissed.
They can come and raise the issues with us. We won't dismiss anything, but it was their right to go to court. Now they have lost. They can come back home and raise the issues with us. We'll listen to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can still stay around. Just to also say that TG has agreed that the nomination processes will be open to the media.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure that we keep you informed. Don't go away.
You can go and sit there. There's a marquee there. Yeah, there's a marquee there. What's our marquee? The media lounge is there.
Shahan, what you just heard is the Treasurer General of the ANC just giving us the breaking news that in fact the court interdict that they were trying to have two members has since been dismissed with costs. That is the latest from what is coming out of the ANC. You'll hear some of the singing that is happening here. This is singing from a victory that they have described as something that vindicates the ANC, to say that it's followed its processes when it comes to holding the BGMs, holding the regional conferences, and coming finally to the Mpumalanga conference that is currently taking place. They're saying that they are vindicated at this stage, but there were some disputes. Just to go back, Shahan, to the, in fact, some details around this. There were court cases, a court case that was underway, some disputes from some members of the ANC that were essentially saying that they were not involved in some of the branch meetings, and that is why we are seeing the, in fact, TG giving us a sense that that has since been dismissed, and you see the celebrations from inside as they're saying they can now finally focus on continuing with this 13th conference of the African National Congress. Shahan.
Yeah, so Linda, of course, we caught the end of what the Treasurer General Paul Mashatile was saying, and basically saying, you know, those people who had concerns can now come to the ANC to raise those concerns instead of to a court. Let's talk about how difficult it's been for Mpumalanga to actually get this provincial conference right and why it's taken so long.
Just forgive us for those shaky visuals, because we've been told that we can actually film some of these, what I would call a victory dance of the ANC. But yes, you are right, it has been difficult for the ANC in Mpumalanga to hold, in fact, a conference because of many of the disgruntled members of the ANC. I can tell you that from 2015, when there was that last conference of the ANC, this is one that they believe will be successful, and this is despite some members of the ANC being disgruntled. Yesterday, Shahan, when we arrived in Mpumalanga, we went to actually interrogate some of those members of the ANC that actually took this party to court today, just to get a sense of really what is it that has happened, why are they disgruntled, and they are speaking about the fact that they were not included in some of the branch general meetings. They are saying that this has been perpetual for the ANC for so long, and that is why they have failed to hold conference. But we have spoken to them. They're talking about threats that were made to their lives, talking about, in fact, cooked BGM meetings that had elected members bogusly. And earlier on, I did ask the producer, Shahan, to actually help us in terms of cutting a sound bite of one of the members of the ANC that actually took them to court today, just to get a sense really of what their disgruntlement was all about. I am not sure, Shahan, I will hear from you, but I would like us to get a sense of some of the issues that they went to court today to actually ventilate and get a clarity from the court in terms of whether this should be stopped or not. If we could, Shahan, perhaps take a listen to that bite, just giving us a sense of some of the issues that these members had when they went to court today.
Okay, let's see if we can actually listen to that clip from Lindo about the interdict and why they went to court.
Former guidelines ngoba ngafundile lawo we-province we-kulontsha kwama-branch ne-region ne-province ithi before kuhlalwa la kosiyibhisi ihlala iyodwa idiscuss ukuthi i-branch liyolontsha i-BGM iyohlala kanjani, badiscusse nesikhathi yonke into, bese siyatshelwa ngama-SMS, kusenda ama-email balawuthele konke lokho azange kwenzeke. Into esiyibonile nje kulama report esiwatholayo, sithola ukuthi umntana kasekretary uyo umuntu beka yiskena umntana secretary usebenza kuphi office indakala Marindi njalo so bathatha ama-ID number wethu bahleli somewhere bawaphuntsha la kule scanner lesi ukuthi nabe sikhona emeetingini because la sibuza ama-members la siyazana la ngobuningi bathi bebangekho kulo meeting leyo badinga leadership izochaza yobu spirit bathi misizoza azofuna ukuza ama-member la azange avele so yonke into nje ayizange ihambe kahle and ama-branch la njengoba sithi siyomisa le nkomfa la akusiwo 30 kuphela maningi la ma-branch la maningi kakhulu.
And obviously, Linda, the merits of what's been argued here has not been heard in court because this was on an urgent basis whether or not this will be heard. That was actually dismissed. Talk to me about the importance of the Mpumalanga Provincial Conference in the context of the ANC's National Elective Conference and Cyril Ramaphosa.
Well, Shahan, we do know that when it comes to the national conference, this particular province holds a lot of ground in terms of ensuring that their vote is the one that we've seen, in fact, in previous conferences such as the Nasrec conference in 2017, that they were once kings makers when D.T. Mabuza, in fact, the former chairperson of this particular, or the outgoing chairperson of this particular province, I should say, was in fact vacating office. He went to becoming deputy president of the country, and we do know just the importance that this particular province had played in terms of kings making there. You are seeing some NEC members, some of them who are deployees of the ANC to this particular conference, but one of them was Umamuna Mukonyane, who in fact was hands-on in terms of ensuring that they respond first of all to those interdicts, but secondly that this conference continues. And I'll just try to get her on the side, Shahan, just to get a sense of her celebrations as well. Mamuna Mvula, we are live on eNCA showing this particular victory. We just want to get a sense of all of this. What does it mean for the ANC?
We are on a very serious path of self-correction and renewal. This province has had its provincial conference long overdue. We've gone through a very tedious exercise, and here today we've got delegates coming from branches that have been formally launched and who have 2-year programs of action that are going to take them up to 2024. And the issue of the court case is also a vindication about the processes that we've been trying to make sure that everybody participates in. It entrenches the power of the branch and the right of members of the ANC to participate in the democratic processes.
Were you at all worried that this might go south? And were you worried about this, that this might go south at some point?
Look, the good thing now, we've got processes. We've learned from the previous processes that led to the 2017 conference. We now keep records. We've got a common program that applies across the country, guidelines adopted by the NEC across the country. And of importance, we also afford branches and structures an opportunity to be heard. So it's a tedious exercise, but it has really helped the ANC to liberate the member and take back the power to a basic unit, which is the branch.
All right, we'll leave it there for now, Shahan, because some colleagues are now trying to get isiZulu. But you'll see that the conference will now be sitting. This is the beginning of a closed session as they try and report to them some of the court processes that they've been keeping an eye on. The message from some of the members of the ANC throughout the day as well as yesterday when they were pronouncing on the readiness of this province of Mpumalanga was to say that they'll be keeping a close eye on the courts, but until a judgment comes and says that this particular conference is interdicted, then they will then stop this process. But at this stage, they have received the news that it is going ahead, and you are hearing some of the reactions from some of the NEC members deployed to ensure that this continues and essentially they are saying that they are vindicated as a party, they can now proceed. But we do know now that party politics or provincial politics of the ANC will then come into play with the nomination of the ANC anticipated at the end of the day, where leaders and the leadership of the ANC in the province of Mpumalanga will be elected for the first time since the outgoing outgoing chairperson of the province, Didi Mabuza, who is now deputy president, had left the office. At some points they will tell us to leave, but you did see some of those celebrations that were taking place. We are expecting that now they'll be taking into another session, which is a closed session, where they'll be going into some of the programs of the ANC. The Pulema are coming to us, in fact, to tell us that we must now leave. But this is what we are getting at this stage. Breaking news that they have been vindicated and that the conference can continue, and that is for now at least.